Why, hello, partners. Welcome to Action Theater. Present today's feature is V for Vendetta from 2006. And I'm still hearing myself because I can hear a tab open somewhere.
All right. Um, Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, uh, to Action Theater. This is, I guess, in a way, you could say our special election episode of
Yeah, in
Action
a way.
Theater. And of course, this is V for Vendetta. And based on the Alan Moore um,
Graphic
graphic
novel.
novel. And even though he is not credited in the final film, um, um, he's very notorious about taking his name off of adaptations of his work. And V for Vendetta also in that on that list. And hello to Faithful
Well,
Bleer,
Connie.
channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube, Full Left Chick Productions herself, Connie Clary. Right.
We are running a little bit later today because I wanted to wait for my partner in crime here to delete the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to read the synopsis?
Synopsis, yes. Let me find it. In a future British dystopian society, a shadowy freedom fighter known only by the alias of V plots to overthrow the tyrannical government with the help of a young woman. Um, the film is rated R. Runtime is 132 minutes. Directed by James McTeague. Written and produced by the Wachowskis.
Yep. This has a lot of great stars, as you see. We got Natalie Portman, Hugo Weaving, Stephen Ray, the late great John Hurt, Rupert uh, Jarvis,
Graves. Yeah.
Graves,
Um, Tim Piggott Smith, who's also since passed away.
yeah,
Roger Allam, who you might remember from the Endeavor series, which is the younger Inspector Morse.
Stephen Fry,
Stephen Fry, of course.
yeah.
Ben Miles, Sinead Kuzak. Yeah. So pretty some familiar faces, I'm sure, to everybody. So yeah.
Well, without further ado, if you want to follow us over to the screening room, should be pinned at both of their right there. There you go. There's the screening room. As much as we would love to show you these here on the YouTube, we are highly restricted due to copyright law and the guidelines, bylines of YouTube. So uh, this will be commentary only. But if you want to view along, if you don't have your own copy, don't know where to find on the streaming platform, we do provide a version you could view along as we are, um, but we can't show them to you here on the YouTube. So just click on that link and you can watch along there. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start. Kick the tires and light the fires. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. And there's the Warner Brothers logo, followed by the DC Comics logo. This one, when I came out, I missed in the theaters. Caught it on video, only after hearing that it was a worthy film to check out, and I was pleasantly surprised with it, and have enjoyed it ever since. How about you? Did you see this in the theater when it came out? Can you hear me? Deleted.
I can now, yes. You're
Okay.
breaking up there for a moment.
Okay. You're now just joining us. Welcome. Hail to FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Hail, Hakame. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Hakame. Hail to Space Fraggle. Welcome, brother. Glad you could join us or drop in. In many ways, the Don Quixote mask that he uses very, I think, represents V. Well, that could just be me. What do you think, Plated?
Well, technically, it's supposed to be a Guy Fawkes mask, but
Oh,
yeah, same difference in many ways, I think.
yeah, he's pretty badass in this Hakame. The November. There is so much great talent in this film.
Hmm.
You didn't realize it then, but you realize it now. Uh, I agree with you, Connie.
And what happens when Winston becomes Big Brother? Because he's played both characters.
Unlike the BBC, who who didn't even want to report the results of the American election the other day. They withheld. At least that's what I heard anyway. So I can neither confirm or deny that rumor.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Pumpkin here. Our current timestamp is 22:14. Hello, Daddy. I do believe that he may be in trouble. Liars! Don't believe
Yep.
don't believe everything you hear on the news. That's a lot of books. He would have a plethora of things on his shelf to announce they're deleted. Would you not say I have a plethora of books to read? Oh, this song could work too. I've been thinking about the far left and been amused by their crying and whining. This song would work just as well as crying. Cry me a river. Oh, so appropriate. Oh, they have been. Just me.
I am being treated well. The frost in my cell is very pretty. Oh.
He's got an awesome bachelor pad there. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like a museum. And he said they're not stolen; they're just nearly reclaimed.
Yep.
Since you've already been there one day, it's only 364 days. Or 363. It was depending on how many days or much time has passed. Girl from Infinita. I always want to try that what he's making, and I always forget. Has anybody tried making that? We are at 30 minutes and 51 seconds right now on timestamp. Why not? Why should he have all the perks of everything?
Mhm. Let's be afraid of their people.
So true, so true. He's got one hell of a shower there. Only the super rich have showers like this.
And he's about to get his face to face.
Talk about strong egos. He would say he's an egomaniac. Oh shit. Yeah. It was at that moment when he realized he done fucked up.
Him. Hi, I've just framed you for murder. No, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. I,
Now I've seen the modern version, the newer version of the Count of Monte Cristo, but I never have watched the older version, and I haven't got on the bucket list to read the book, the novel. If I could, what I'd have to find a copy. Have any of you read the Count of Monte Cristo? Let us know in the chat. Connie said you read the book once. So that's one more time than I've read it. Good for you, Connie. That's actually quite cool.
yeah. When you're watching a news broadcast and you start seeing a news anchor blink like a frickin' hummingbird, it's usually a pretty good sign that something's off.
I think I stopped watching news like almost 2 decades ago.
Hmm.
Pretty darn close.
When I saw this the first time, I thought he was going to wind up, that V was going to wind up being her supposedly dead brother. But spoiler alert, I got that wrong. Stephen Ray playing a character, it's kind of similar to the one that he plays in Michael Collins. Do you mind me getting not necessarily political, but into politics for a second here on this one, Bill?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Now, judging by the fella who is essentially the author of this piece, the original author, as some of the people involved with the production of this film in front of him behind the camera, you know that there are certain people who believe that the government in this film is basically like a far right wing government. I don't see it that way, but either way, and I'm going to be pointing this out throughout the film, there are some things that are just morally out of line. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. you know. Now, what my point is, because I don't want to be misunderstood here, um, the government that is depicted in this film, I don't think any sane person would agree with anything that they do. So I'm not trying to equate the government characters in this film to anyone in real life existence. I'm looking at it as kind of a pure matter of right and wrong and what would you do as a human being. I kind of find myself when I watch this movie kind of akin to Stephen Ray's character here plays the cop is just trying to figure out what the hell's going on and kind of finds his own morality in the middle of it.
A hail to Wes Cagle. Welcome, my friend. We are exactly 44 minutes into the film.
Yeah, enough of my monologuing, folks. I'm sorry. Back to the film.
No worries, deleted.
Yes, like kidnapping a young woman and forcing her to come with. Hey, sorry. Uh huh. Well, start
200.
with these jokes now, folks.
A bishop who gets 200 grand a month.
200 grand a year. Yeah.
Jeez.
I like the ways that this movie is futuristic and it yet the same way not. It's almost like you're just 5 minutes into the future or something.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Either way, not cool. Not cool. Not good. Not good. And this guy, he's John Standing. He's great kind of British character actor guy. Um, this is probably the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen him play in a movie.
Uh,
He's
greetings.
usually the good guy trying to rescue the girl in these things, but he's not in this.
Hail to Bush McFadden.
Hey Bush,
Good to see you, pal.
gargantuan giant of greatness, graces you gentlemen with a genuflect gesture. Greetings, thank you.
Uh,
All right.
right. Hey, he's got a golden gun. He's the man with the golden gun. Bless you, Bush. Bless you, brother.
Thank you, Bush. Now here's the character that I think is the kind of the true evil scumbag of the film, who's Creedy, played by the late great character actor Tim Piggott Smith, um, who you might remember back in the day from Clash of the Titans. He was in that.
Uh, thank you, graciously, Connie Clarely, for being a 10-month member.
Yeah.
You're absolutely welcome, Connie. It's always a pleasure to see you. Have you here join us.
Here we go. Good. Damn girl, wait for him. It's gonna drink him out of house and home.
That's a take on an actual poster. I've seen that. I always thought that was a rose, but they're saying it's some other flower that's extinct.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you, West Kago. Thank you. That's pretty cool, Tim. Thank you for that photograph. Oh, very cool, Tim. Very cool. Enjoy your trip, man. I really appreciate how this movie was so good with their design and aesthetic feel of the a test Testonian government. It's shoot, I forget the word I was trying to look for here. But, and the aesthetic design of like the graphic of the police and all that, and the posters. They did a great, brilliant job. And hail to Daniel's Hot Topics. Hell, brother. That's one way of looking at it, Daniel. Throwing the lie. That's 80,000 dead from a pandemic. Good one, Tim. Except for they don't have a sense of humor. Yeah, drink up. You need it. Mm. Yeah, nod to Benny Hill. Yeah, broke your milk glass.
Mm.
Uh, Sadly, you're wrong. They have come for him. I do too, Tim. I do too, man. You're damn right. Is it me, or is it? Does she actually look better that way? Like, hello, Natalie. I'm sorry. That's horrible. I'm horrible. I'm a horrible human being. Uh oh, damn rats.
Hey, wait, that's
Our current timestamp is 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds. Excuse me. He's very good at voices.
Hmm.
It's like,
I hit the wrong button. Hi, everybody.
oops.
I hope we were muted right then, because we could have just been copyrighted right off the air there for a moment. Sorry.
I didn't hear
My
anything that we weren't supposed to.
my neighbors decided to play some very loud music and walk by my house. So, all right. It's all good. Why? Because everybody in this movie is a freak.
Agreed. Try telling all that to the far lefties and the Swifties of the world. There's no crying in politics. There's no crying in politics. Some of them are just, they're done. They're just done.
Well, she's
Ah,
getting better at not blinking.
yeah.
Workwood. I have to know.
Famous last words.
Howdy and welcome, Big Al. Indeed, indeed, sir. Yeah, I just love the totalitarian stoic fiction of their advanced government. They did a great job. It's always the pharmaceutical companies. They're evil. They're evil. I tell you. What are they really manufacturing? Drugs or money? That is the question, right? Cheerio, mate. I needed you.
Oh, hello.
Dun 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 dun. I just love that. Bollocks. Bollocks.
And here's the little girl from the family that we've been following through the movie.
Hello, Enigma Severus.
I like how this the delivery service resembles the United Postal Service. It's if you look at it, it's almost the same design, but a little tweak on it. It's gone mad, I tell you.
Yep.
Like that. Here you go. What does the one domino that did not fall over represent? Can anybody tell me that?
Hmm.
Ponder that for a while. That's a good one, Igma. Last
Yeah.
man standing.
It's been 7 hours and 16 days. I suppose it could be if you want, Tim.
One person? How could that? How did he manage that? That's what I want to know. Good God!
Ah, but where is everyone?
This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Bollocks. That's impossible. My turn. Oh, damn. There. Oh, right, man. He did tell you.
Mm.
Press the button. Pull the lever. Hey kids, Big Bad Parliament. And there you have it. V, everybody. You're welcome, Bush. There will be karaoke on Saturday night. A special tribute to making America great again.
And the movie is dedicated to Adrian Biddle, who was the cinematographer who passed away. Uh, after filming the movie and before its release. Of course, if you recognize that name, he also did Aliens as well.
You're welcome, Lady Mist.
Shall I consult the scrolls?
You shall. You could consult the scrolls.
Okay. V for Vendetta was released March 17th, 2006, at an estimated budget of $54 million, going on to gross $135 million. Filming locations included Götterfeld, Stahnsdorf, Brandenburg, Germany, for the prison camp sequence. George IV, 26 to 30 Portugal Street, London, Greater London, England, UK. Natalie Portman walks along Portugal Street with this building in the background within the London School of Economics. Parliament Square, Westminster, Greater London, for Parliament externals. Marlene Dietrich Hall, Studio Babelsberg, Potsdam, Brandenburg, Germany. Canary Wharf, Isle of Dogs, London, Greater London. Surrey Street, Aldrich, Westminster, Greater London. 39 Calcross Street, London. Mellon Ground, Hatfield Park, Hatfield, Hertfordshire, England. Aldrich Underground Railway Station, Surrey Street, Aldrich, Westminster, Greater London. Berlin, Germany. Farringdon Underground Railway Station, 39 Calcross Street, London, Greater London, England. Strand, Westminster, Greater London. Studio Babelsberg, Potsdam, Brandenburg, Germany. And Trafalgar Square, Westminster, Greater London, England, UK. Okay. Moving on to the trivia. There are 126 items, so I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, but I'm going to read off as many of these as I can. All right. Lily and Lana Wachowski, formerly Larry and Andy, huge fans of the original comic series, wrote a draft of the script in the 1990s before they worked on The Matrix, which shares several similar themes. The cast and crew were allowed to shoot near the British Parliament and Big Ben from midnight to 4:30 a.m. only, and they could stop traffic for only 4 minutes at a time. Natalie Portman looked forward to buzzing her hair, saying she'd wanted to do that for a long time. James Purefoy was originally cast as V and filmed some scenes, but left 7 weeks into filming, citing creative differences with the filmmakers. Hugo Weaving replaced him. However, some scenes with Purefoy were kept, with Weaving dubbing over them in post-production. Natalie Portman worked with Barbara Berkery, the dialectologist who has also worked with Gwyneth Paltrow to perfect her accent. The scenes in the abandoned London Underground station were filmed at Aldrich, a Piccadilly line station that closed in 1994. The branch still has tracks and electricity, meaning trains can still operate. The dominoes scene, where V tips over black and red dominoes to form a giant letter V, involved 22,000 dominoes. It took 4 professional domino assemblers 200 hours to set it up. The masks that the soldiers wear outside the Houses of Parliament are JTX Fire brand paintball masks. The scrambler device Finch uses in his office is a popular type of pocket reading light with a red bulb or filter added to make it look more high-tech. The line about God playing dice at the universe comes from Albert Einstein's objection to quantum theory, in which he said, "At any rate, I'm convinced that God does not play dice." In the original graphic novel, V's cause was anarchy, not freedom. Alan Moore was very critical of the movie for changing what he called the anarchy versus fascism structure of his graphic novel into what he saw as an exploration of American neoliberalism versus American neoconservatism that should have been set in the U.S. instead of Britain. In the original graphic novel, the leader's name is Adam Susan, not Sutler. He was renamed Sutler because it sounds similar to... Think about it. All right.
Yeah.
The name Evie is pronounced EV, with E being the fifth letter of the alphabet, V being 5 in Latin, and Y being the 25th letter, 5 squared. All right. The original comic series was created by Alan Moore. However, following his negative experience with From Hell and A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Moore decided to reject all money and credit from Hollywood on any adaptations of his work. Thus, he gave all the money he would have gotten to the artist who drew the character with him and rejected his own created by credit from the movie. In Louis Prothera's bathroom, a collection of dolls can be seen in the background. This is a reference to the graphic novel where Prothero had a valuable collection of dolls. When V meets Creedy, he says, "Penny for the guy." Traditionally in England, children would ask for money to buy fireworks around November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day. On that day, children would make a Guy Fawkes mannequin to be burned in a bonfire in the evening amid fireworks. The symbol of the Norse fire party is an ancient heraldic symbol called the Croix de Lorraine. A similar symbol was adopted as the official symbol of General Charles de Gaulle's Free French forces between 1940 and 1944. It was later used for various Gaullist political parties in France, notably the RPR, Rally for the Republic. Included in the images seen on television is Valerie talks about America's war growing worse and then eventually coming to London, is footage of baby Jessica Lee McClure being pulled out of the Texas well into which she fell, 1987. The building used for the wide-angle shot of Evie on the balcony actually exists, although certain architectural details were digitally modified. It is located at 1 Cornhill, London, and is just across the street from the Bank of England. According to the police archives, the St. Mary's virus outbreak started May 13th, 2006. So, like I said, literally 5 minutes into the future. The musical theme accompanying the explosions in the beginning at the end of this movie, and at the end of this movie, is Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. Among the paintings in V's lair are John William Waterhouse's The Lady of Shalott, Puberty by Edvard Munch, Bacchus and Ariadne by Titian, The Arnolfini Wedding by Jan van Eyck. I probably massacred that name. Elohim Creating Adam by William Blake. After V sends out Guy Fawkes masks to everyone and the riots start, The television announcer mentioned that the first riots started in Brixton. This is a reference to the Brixton riots in 1981 in London. Sir John Hurt perceived this movie as a combination of 1984 and Alien, both of which he appeared in. Most of the forbidden objects in V's Shadow Gallery are classical works of art and culture. A few are modern, including the Vitro Lounge Chair by Charles Eames and Ray Eames, and Valerio Bottine's Bubble Lamp. And the memorial for those that died as a result of the virus, the statues are of children playing Ring Around the Roses. It's often assumed that the nursery rhyme was created in reference to the Great Plague of the mid-17th century. This was director of photography Adrian Biddle's final movie. He died on December 7th, 2005 of a heart attack. The movie is dedicated to him. Supervising art director Kevin Phipps and production designer Owen Patterson are listed on the Larkhill staff list. AKA they died off screen. Hugo Weaving based his accent on Harold Wilson, British Prime Minister, from 1964 to 70 and 74 to 76. In the comic, illustrator David Lloyd often subtly changed V's Guy Fawkes mask to suit the mood or tone of a particular scene. The filmmakers considered designing several subtly different masks, but they ultimately decided to alter the shadows and lighting in post-production. All of V's dialogue was dubbed. Initially, a mask was designed with a small microphone inside, and another mic was designed to sit along Hugo Weaving's hairline, but neither worked very well. Costume designer Sammy Sheldon only had 5 weeks of prep time. Wow. The same typefaces found on all of the posters and signs throughout the movie, except for the posters for Valerie's movies. All of the models, the Old Bailey, the Clock Tower, and the Houses of Parliament were built at 1/10 scale. Together, they took 20 people 10 weeks to build. For the scene when V emerges from Larkhill, stunt double Chad Stahelski, who of course would later go on to direct the John Wick films, he's Keanu Reeves' stunt double, literally walked through fire wearing just a special fire-resistant gel and a G-string. Ouch. Stahelski's body temperature had to be lowered before the scene was shot, and luckily it was 3 degrees below zero the night of the shoot. 15 minutes before a take, he would put on ice-cold, flame-resistant clothing, and once he took them off, he would be covered with fire-resistant gel, which had been icing all day long. Prior to shooting this movie, director James McTeague studied Gillo Pontecorvo's The Battle of Algiers. Natalie Portman researched her role by watching the Sam Green and Bill Siegel documentary The Weather Underground and reading Faith and Treason, Antonia Fraser's book about Guy Fawkes, as well as the autobiography of Menachem Begin, the founder of the Likud party in Israel. Bryce Dallas Howard, Scarlett Johansson, and Keira Knightley all auditioned for the role of Evie Hammond. Certain scenes within this movie feature James Purefoy as V, who was originally cast in the role but replaced by Hugo Weaving 4 weeks into filming. Weaving's voice was simply dubbed over Purefoy's performance in post-production. Director James McTeague said in an interview, "Can I tell the difference? Yeah. Can the audience tell? I doubt it." The secret police are called fingermen because the new order was arranged on the model of the human body. The chancellor was the head, the television station BTN was the mouth, visual and audio surveillance were the eyes and ears. Finch was part of the nose, the police force, and Creedy's secret police were the hand. Ewan Blair, the son of former Prime Minister Tony Blair, worked as a runner for this movie's production company. The role drew criticism after Stephen Fry suggested the political connections affected obtaining permission to film in government buildings. The producers strenuously denied the allegations. Conservative member of Parliament David Davies told the Sunday Times, "It smacks of sheer hypocrisy that Blair's government is willing to arrest a woman for simply making a protest in Whitehall, but is happy to open the doors when Blair's son turns up in a film, which is about Parliament being blown up." Oh, by the way, the movie the Wachowskis were going to make after this was going to end with the White House being blown up.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Needless to say, Hollywood thought that might be taking things a little far.
I think they did that in Independence Day.
Yeah, but that was aliens doing it, not
Yeah.
not people. All right. Peter Creedy's predecessor, Derek Almond, was going to appear in an early draft of the script, but was removed to make Creedy more villainous. In the original graphic novel, the leader relies on a centralized computer system called FATE, or FATE, to help maintain control. This does not appear in the movie. During the introduction of V to Evie, starting with voila and ending with coincidence, V uses words that begin with V 48 times. Also, the total number of V's in the statement is 55. The scar on Evie's forehead is in the shape of a sideways V. The plot of this movie is remotely similar to that of Alexander Dumas's The Count of Monte Cristo, as both stories revolve around characters who escape from imprisonment and proceed in seeking revenge on all of those responsible for their incarceration. In Valerie's flashback, there is a brief scene when she talks about meeting her lover while filming her movie. The movie crew that appeared in this scene was composed of nearly entirely of crew members for this movie. Evie and Gordon watch a spoof skit on the Gordon Dietrich show, in which a fake V teases a fake Sutler. After Sutler trips, the music switches to a fast-paced tune. The song is Yakety Sax, also known as the theme from the Benny Hill Show. And this sped-up comical chase that follows is a clear reference to such antics on that show. Okay. I'm going to do a few more of these. This movie has many similarities to George Orwell's 1984. Sir John Hurt starred in its movie adaptation 1984, but played the hero instead of the villain, which he plays in this movie. Guy Fawkes was captured on November the 5th. Rupert Graves and Eddie Marsan have portrayed Inspector Lestrade in Sherlock Holmes series and movies, respectively. November the 5th, the date around this movie revolves, is the release date of The Matrix Revolutions. In the scene where V, as William Rookwood, is speaking with the detectives, the sculpture of dancing children is a copy of the fountain Barmaly in Stalingrad, which survived after massive bombing of the city during World War II by the Nazis in 1942. This was the first theatrical movie directed by James McTeague. Stephen Fry is seen drinking champagne with Evie. In real life, champagne can trigger Fry's asthma, so he is careful to avoid it. As Kenneth Branagh was originally going to play V when they were going to film it in the late 80s. Early version, it didn't happen. Okay. This was the theatrical movie debut of Imogen Poots, plays the young Valerie. In case I don't know how many in the chat or watching along with us might have recognized her, but yeah, she of course went on to be in 28 Days Later. 28 Weeks Later.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah.
She's in Centurion and the Black Christmas remake that they did a couple of years ago. Of which, from what I understand, the less said about that, the better.
Yeah,
so we're
I tried to watch that. That one was terrible. We couldn't even get through 10 minutes of it.
All right. This movie was supposed to be released on November the 5th in time for Guy Fawkes Day. Due to production delays, it was released during the St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Well.
Well, that doesn't fucking help. Okay.
No.
All right. I'm going to read a couple of more of these. In all of Adam Sutler's scenes, he only blinks once. V wears a variety of different wigs in this movie, some longer or shorter than others, and they still maintain the same hairstyle. Okay. The movie omits or changes several important details in order to make V and his actions more morally appealing. Also, the government, while more sinister in this movie, is at the same time less human, with the authorities in the graphic novel being more complex. For instance, Chancellor Sutler, Adam Susan, in the novel, is an awkward and timid man who sincerely believes in fascism and leaves all important decisions to fate. A supercomputer, also absent in this movie. V, on the other hand, is way more violent and less selective in who he kills, often murdering innocents in the process. His aim is not liberty, but anarchy. And he is much more abusive with Evie, who is just 16 during the prison scenes in the novel. Gordon Dietrich is also a criminal and Evie's lover. He is killed by another criminal. Also, the central plot of the movie of the government targeting the population with a virus attack is not present in the book. And while it is discussed that a nuclear war happened, the ones responsible are left unseen. All of these changes infuriated Alan Moore, who claimed that the fascist government in his work had been defanged and refused to have any credit for this movie. And long time no see. Hello to Herman the Tosser. Good to see you, sir.
Hello there.
All right. I'm going to read off one more and
all right.
Wrap this up. All right. Alan Moore, the writer of the original graphic novel, greatly disliked this movie, criticizing the script for having plot holes you wouldn't have gotten away with on Whizzer and Chips in the 60s. He ended cooperation with his publisher DC Comics after its corporate parent Warner Brothers failed to retract statements about Moore's supposed endorsement of this movie. Producer Joel Silver said at a press conference that screenwriter Larry Wachowski had talked with Moore and that Moore was very excited with what he had to say. Moore disputed this, reporting he had told Wachowski, "I didn't want anything to do with films. I wasn't interested in Hollywood," and demanded that DC Comics force Warner Brothers to issue a public retraction and apology for Silver's, quote, blatant lies. Although Silver called Moore directly to apologize, no public retraction appeared. Moore was quoted as saying that the comic book had been specifically about things like fascism and anarchy, whereas fascism and anarchy occur nowhere in the film. It's been turned into a Bush-era parable by people too timid to set a political satire in their own country. He's got a point there. They don't know how to write satire in Hollywood. They just don't. This conflict between Moore and DC Comics was the subject of an article in the New York Times on March 12, 2006, 5 days before the U.S. release. In the New York Times article, Silver stated that about 20 years prior to this movie's release, he met with Moore and David Gibbons when Silver acquired the movie rights for 2 V for Vendetta and Watchmen. Silver stated, Allen was odd, but he was enthusiastic and encouraging us to do this. I had foolishly thought he would continue feeling that way today, not realizing that he wouldn't. Moore did not deny this meeting, nor Silver's characterization of himself at that meeting, nor did Moore state that he ever advised Silver of his change of opinion in the intervening approximately 20 years. The New York Times article also interviewed David Lloyd about Moore's reaction to the movie's production, stating, Mr. Lloyd, the illustrator of V for Vendetta, also found it difficult to sympathize with Mr. Moore's protests. When he and Mr. Moore sold their film rights to the comic book, Mr. Lloyd said, we didn't do it innocently. Neither myself nor Allen thought we were signing it over to a board of trustees who would look after it like the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right, I'm going to end it there because, like I said, there's much more, but I think I got the main gist of it. And a lot of it repeats itself too, so.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Next week.
For I know I usually do like a kind of a carnage count. I did not do that today. But IMDb Pro did that for me. Awesome. 73.
73.
All told.
That's a good one.
All right. The scrolls are closed.
For next week, an action theater, we're going to go back to Bond, Mr. Bond. We'll live and let die.
Yeah. Excelente.
We got Western Cinema on Sunday with
Indeed,
Cowboy Up. It'll be a little bit later on Sunday because I gotta cover the the Bronco Chiefs games. I gotta see if this will be the greatest week in history. If my Broncos can somehow find a way to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs and all them Swifties in Kansas City. I will fish if Denver can find a way to beat Kansas City, it will go. This week will go down in history as the greatest week in ever. So stay tuned. That's pretty much all I got coming up. How about you, Deleted?
All right. Well, stay tuned later tonight over on my channel for the weekend update, my post-election day edition. And there you will find out what I am going to be up to for about the next week or so.
Awesome.
Yeah. I do want to take the time out, of course, to once again thank everyone who joined us. There were at least 35 of you on my side of things, anyway, who watched part or all of the show. So thank you all for joining us. We did start a little bit late. My fault. My schedule wouldn't allow me to come any sooner. I was originally we originally had the show set for 3:30. We had to move it back. So thank you to everybody who stopped by, everybody who watched with us from the beginning. I really do appreciate it. You guys make the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do want to, of course, again, thank everybody who joined us in Cosme. Some people joining us late. Emoji Queen Lady Mist. I want to thank Space Fraggle for being here, who's my most recent channel member. Jeff B. I want to thank Herman the Tosser. Good to see you. It's been a while. Boosh McFadden. Connie Cleary. West Cagle. Daniel's Hot Topics. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Big Al Presents. I will be appearing with Al on Films with Friends on his channel tomorrow night at 8. And we are going to be watching Space Invaders from 1983.
Oh, I remember that one. Good one.
All right. Hakami joined us as well.
Yeah.
All righty. I think I got to everybody. If I missed you, I do apologize.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for making this broadcast a success and dropping in the theater and watching. We have America. America is going to be on its way to being great again.
It's going to be very interesting times.
Yes. Well, with that being said, I'll say this. Be excellent to one another. Always party on. And we can't wait to see you on the next one. Back to you, Mr. Deleted.
All right. And as I always say, thank you once again for joining us. Next week's movie, Live and Let Die.
Yep.
From HQ, our second home office in Arizona, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe. Because this is how we win.